Hello ladies and gentlemen, here are 6 beginner tips and tricks for Mountain Blade Warband. This video is aimed at beginners, but if you are a veteran of Mountain Blade, then you might still find a thing or two that you didn't know about. Most of these tips will also work for a lot of mods and not just native. Number 1. Build enterprises in every town from early on. This is very helpful to pay your troops as it will give you passive income, so I would say make sure to do this before you start your own kingdom. Most of the time, building a weavery and dyeworks is the best option, however there are some exceptions in some towns, so make sure you check all of them. Number 2. Level up your companions according to what your party needs. For example, every party needs an emissary, a pathfinder, an engineer, a medic, and a looter. Right now, I'll tell you how to build up these guys. For the medic, spam intelligence and put points into surgery, wound treatment, and first aid. For the pathfinder, spam intelligence and put points into pathfinding, spotting, and you can go for tracking, but it's not really that important, so it's your choice. For the looter, spam agility and put points into looting. For the engineer, spam intelligence and put points into engineering. And finally, for the emissary, spam charisma and put points into persuasion. If you plan to turn a companion into a lord later on when you are a king, then make sure to put as many points as you can in leadership and trainer for him. Also put trainer for all the companions anyway, because it stacks very well and it's very important to have on all your companions to start leveling up the troops much faster. Number 3. Choose the correct weapon damage that suits your playstyle. There are 3 types of weapon damage in this game. Those are blunt damage, cutting damage, and piercing damage. Cutting damage is the most common one because it's found on almost all of the swords in the game. It's very good against low armored opponents, but it's not that great against highly armored opponents. Piercing damage is very good against highly armored opponents, but not that great against low armored opponents. For example, you have the spears as well as the morning star, which is used by the Swedish knight. Blunt damage is a good medium between the 3. An example of this is the two-handed mace used by the Saranid Mamluks. A special ability of the blunt weapon damage that it will allow you to knock out opponents instead of killing them, which will then allow you to take them prisoners and then sell them for ransom at a ransom broker, which is very good for getting some extra money. My advice, use either a blunt weapon damage or a piercing weapon damage. Number 4. Send out your companions to gather right to rule from early on. Right to rule is very important when founding your own kingdom. It will make other lords join your cause over other kings if you have a very high right to rule. You can send out companions to get the right to rule by talking with them and telling them that you aspire to be the king of the land. They'll come back 2 weeks later and they'll give you right to rule points. Make sure that you have at least 30 renown points before making your own kingdom, or all of the other kings will start declaring war on you. Number 5. Use mercenaries within reason. Mercenaries can be found in taverns all across Calradia, however these guys have a very high paying wage, so be careful when using them.
Money!
The optimal way to use a mercenary is to fill in a role that is needed in your main army. For example, both the Rodaks and the Nords lack any cavalry of any sort, so you might find it optimal to actually use mercenary cavalry when fighting with a pure Nord or a pure Rodak army. It wouldn't be wise to use a hired blade when you are playing with a pure Nord army, as you'll already have the Huskarls, or use a mercenary sharpshooter when you already have a Rodak sharpshooter, which is unneeded. However, bear in mind that the sword sister troop tree actually doesn't suffer from the extra weekly wages, so it's completely fine if you want to keep recruiting these guys non-stop. Number 6. You can heal up a lame horse by leaving it in your inventory, and if you or one of your companions has wound treatment, the horse will heal back up as time goes on. You can take advantage of this tactic by buying lame horses from shops and then leaving them in your inventory for quite some time until they heal back up and then be usable. You can also restore normal stats back to Swaybacked horses by using this method, however you'll need to get them killed 1 or twice in a field battle until they become lamed. Anyway, this is it for this tips video. I really hope you guys enjoyed and found it helpful. I'll be posting more tips in the future. I also have other Mountain Blade content in my channel, so if you like them, maybe consider subscribing. And yeah, have a great day guys.